In this video, we are going to explore the various charts and graphs in Microsoft Excel, especially the one required for statisticians in project and data analysis. So stay with me till the end of this video as we explore all the charts and the various graphs that you can use for data analysis, for project work, or for your own company work, or even for personal work. The Excel ribbon have several, tabs. There we have the home tab, the inside the drawer tab, the page layout, the formula tab, data, and each of these ribbon give different commands in Microsoft Excel. The one required for the various chart and graphs in Microsoft Excel is found in the Insert tab. So when you come to the Insert tab on the ribbon, the Insert tab displays various charts or graphs that can be used to manipulate data in its analysis. So we can have the various charts. You can have column or bar chart. You can have the various ones, including, let's say, the line or area chart. You can have the pie chart. You can have the insert hierarchy chart. We can have the block graph. You can have the scatter and many others. We are going to see how we can use these various charts in Microsoft Excel to manipulate and analyze this data. So let's say we have this data of students, about 10 different students or more, their ages and their height. We are going to see how we can just pictorially manipulate or analyze these various data with the various chart and graphs in Microsoft Excel. So if, let's say, you want to display any chart or graph, the first thing to do is select the region of the data in the Microsoft Excel or the spreadsheet where you want to analyze. So let's start by first selecting the first column, which is the student age and the student and their age. So if I want to make the age of the student a more pictorial form, I can use any of the charts to make it visible and clear for my viewers to see. So let me select the first two columns, which is made of the student and their ages. I can apply when you click on the Insert tab and you have the various charts. After selecting them, you can apply any of them. So let's begin with first the bar chart or the columns. So after selecting them, you can choose various columns. You can have the 2D one, we have the 3D one, we have the 2D bars, and we have the 3D bars. So a lot of charts can be used as bars to manipulate or to analyze my selected columns in the Excel. So with the age and the student names, I can equally even add the third column. So let me select the age and the height together and see how I can apply the various charts in Excel to it. So let me say I want to choose this one. So if I choose this one, then clearly I have this chart which gives me the various values or the variables or the numbers and the student's name. So the Excel has a key that shows that the red one, or more like the orange colored one, is the height and the blue one is the age. So when I take a student like Florence, its height or her height is somewhere 23 as shown in the table. When I come to her, the age is 23, the height is 6 as shown also in the table. So these values or these different graphs can show the different variables, that is the age and the height of the student, in a more pictorial form. You can choose to expand it to make it a bit larger so that you become more clearer. You can choose to apply, have the chart title. Let's say I want to maybe, so let me say I want to let me undo. Let me say I want to add the chart title to it, so we can have the axis title. You can have the chart title. When you click on this plus, you can have the chart title itself, the axis titles. Maybe the title of the axis, I want to make this one, let's say the age and height, and I can make the vertical one. So let's say the axis ones. When I click on the axis, it will give me, or it will select the axis for me to label. So I can label the vertical axis as, let's say, age and height. Then I can label the horizontal one as, let's say, student name. That is based on how I want it. If I want to have the chart title proper, I can select this one to check this one in and have the chart title being shown here. Let's say I want to make this one label the chart as student. So I want to make it student variables. So student variables. So I can apply this chart to make my data a bit clearer. I can apply different format, no different colors or background to my particular chart given. So I can choose this format. I can choose this one. You can choose any of these design based on the one that you perceive to be okay for your particular project. Different graphs can be used or charts can be used to analyze such a data. I can equally apply the 3D graphs for this same data. So I just want to undo all of them, or you can just click on it and maybe delete it or something. So I can apply other charts. Let's come to the insert tab again. So what we used was the 2D. You can apply the 3D one that shows 3 dimensions of the graphs of each. So you can have just the 2 variables of the student, the age and the height, all of them as independent graphs, or you can have them fused together. So this one shows the fraction of each of the students variables when you add their 2 variables together. So let's say when I add this one, the total value of this one becomes 23 plus 6, which becomes 29. That 29 means 6 of them becomes what? The height of Florence, and the remaining becomes the 23, which is the age of Florence. You can apply once again different colors or styles to it. You can equally choose the other ones which shows the graphs in a more horizontal format. So you can have it this way, you can have it that way based on how you want it. So these are the different columns that you can apply to the graph. You can choose what you call lines. You can also have lines to it. So maybe the lines, you want to apply the lines, here the lines, the red one also represent the heights and the blue one represents the age. In this case, for you to make it a more pictorial form, maybe you can choose to add data label. So when you right click on each of the line and you come to add data label, the label displays the actual value of each of the students. So here this each of the student age in the graph. When I come to this one too and I right click on it, I'm going to have once again the add labels, data labels. This also gives me the actual value of each of the age of the student. That is when you want to apply the line principle or the line format or the line chart to analyze your particular data. Let's delete it. Let's see how we can also apply. So let's say you want to use bar charts, or yeah, so you can also add what you call the pie chart. The pie chart basically categorizes all the values into an angle, total angle of 360, and add different values. So here when you come here, it shows that the red one, so this one is just for the age. Basically, pie chart focuses more on only one variable. So the Florence one is this color. They've converted all of these values here to a value of 6m. They've changed all the values to an angle of a circle, which is 360. So basically, the proportion of the value of Florence here is given by the age of the of Florence divided by total age times 360. That gives the angle proportion of the Florence age in the circle. When it comes to add data labels, this one also gives you the actual value or the actual age of Florence, each of the students in the pie chart, which makes it very simple for you to visualize. So you can also add different formatting to it based on how you want it. So different backgrounds, different styles to it based on how you can have others, a lot of stuff. When you click on this drop down arrow, you're going to have a lot of styles that you can use to apply to your circle. So this one basically is very nice. This one shows the age and at the same time the angle proportion of the student age in that 360 angle of the circle. So let's see other ones. So with this one, let's see, you come to insert tab, you can have other ones. So we've done with so far this one. So you can have different form of pie chart. You can have it in this format, you can have it in this format based on how you want it. You can choose to do it and analyze it in your data. Once you can have this, what you call the hierarchy chart, that shows the hierarchy. So the hierarchy is more like the portion of the rectangle that is occupied by that particular value. So this one basically is for each of them. So this one adds the flooring zone as shown with this color, because when you add the flooring zone 23 and 6, the value is going to be greater. So you see that the value or the space occupied by the flooring zone is going to be much greater. When you have other larger ones like 29 and 6.6, when you add them, the value is going to be greater. So the hierarchy chart gives you the region in the bar chart or in that particular portion, the area whose or within which the particular student occupies a greater percentage. So if it's shown here, different colors can be applied once again to them, and you choose the one you like to use for your data analysis, or you use for your project analysis. So you can also apply other ones, let's delete it and see other charts that can be used to explore data in Microsoft Excel. So you can have also someone like this, which looks like more like a pie chart, but this one is called a sunburst, which is very nice and can also be used to make a data more visual for it to be seen in an analysis. So next, we can apply another format or different charts, which is very nice. I personally like this. But if you have different values and you want to see their change in magnitude, this one is so nice and I like it so much. As shown here, it shows the graphs or the plot in stats form. So if I show it this way, this one I think is for just age. So we show the values. So this one focuses only on the age. So the ones that can work on only one variable, will use the first one and neglect the second one. So it shows it in a stairs form, the stairs, and each of these stairs have the magnitude of the name there. That is so now let's add, you can choose to apply different styles to it based on the one that you would like. You can go to this drop down arrow and choose the one that you would like for your analysis based on what you want or what makes the particular project or the analysis you are doing a much simpler and a clear one in your project. We can have other formats or other visual form which can be used to analyze your data based on how you want it. So based on the field of study, the topic of study, and the kind of data that you analyze, and you always like to choose which type of charts is best for your study. Then we can have another one which also looks like this, very nice. It can also be used to analyze based on what topic you are analyzing. So let's come to this one too. Okay, I basically liked the box and whisker plot. So this one is what we call the 5-number summary that basically analyzes and categorizes a set of values into 5 numbers. So let's say you want to select just this raw data. You want to apply the box and whisker plot to it. It's going to give you one box and whisker plot, which can easily be interpreted. So we call this one a 5-number summary. A 5-number summary. It gives the 5 numbers, the minimum number, the maximum number, the first quartile, the third quartile, and the median or the second quartile. So the 5-number summary, the maximum one. So with the selected values here from 23 down to 29. So if this is just raw data you want to analyze the box and whisker plot, you can apply this method to analyze the data. The smaller value here, that when you come, it will show you as 17. So here the value here is 17. That is the minimum number among the various set of selected numbers in the table. Then the middle one becomes the median of this set of data from 23 down to 29. The median of this data is 23.9. Then when you come here, the first quartile is 22. That is when you just arrange them in either ascending or descending order. The first quartile is 22. Then the third quartile becomes the value here, which is 26. The middle one is the median. Then the largest value of all will show in the table also as 29. So you can apply different formatting or charts in Microsoft Excel to your data that you want to analyze. So let's say you want to use this for your work. After doing this, you can just copy it. It's very simple. If it's Microsoft Word, you can just copy it. If you want to delete the line, just click on the line then you click on delete, the surface becomes very blank. Then you can now copy your whole data to the field that you want to study. So if I want to transport this one to Microsoft Excel or to Microsoft Word, I will just right click on it, then you just copy, then you open your blank Word document and you right click there and click on paste, and that will paste this particular chart in the Microsoft Word document. The next thing we are going to look at is the what do you call the graph. Graph. Let's use this set of data in the sheet 2. We have this data, which is distance against time. Basically, if you have distance against time, if you have a graph of distance against time, the slope becomes the velocity of that particular machine or whatever. So let's say you have these two variables, distance and time, and want to explore it with a graph. That is a linear graph. You can also apply the linear graph normally found at the scatter. So if you come here, then you click on the scatter, which is the first one. If the two variables are more like collinear, that is the two, they have a strong correlation, meaning that when one increases, the other equally increases. And you can have a graph that can be used to represent that particular two variables. So with this one, I want to plot a graph of, let's say, distance. So this one is more like a graph of time against the distance or whatever, anyhow you want it. We click on it, it displays the graph like this. The graph is just shown here. So the dots here are the plot. So each plot, this one is a plot of 150 against 40, a plot of the 200, which is the distance, against time 50, let's say 50 seconds or whatever. Now this is a graph that can be used to visualize or to make this particular raw data a more pictorial form. So let's add a line to it. So when you want to add a line, just click on one of the dots, right click, and you come to add trend line. In most Excel format, when you add a trend line, it comes in a dashed form. So for you to change this one to a bold form and even change the color, with the pop-up menu here, just click on the fill icon here, then you come to the dash type. So the dash type, the default one is the broken one. So if you want a solid line based on the one that you want, if you want this, click on it. If you want this, click on it. But I want a solid line. So if you click on the solid line, that is going to change the line from the dash to a solid form. Then maybe the color of the line too, you might choose to change the color to either red, maybe there's a black, or any other color that you want. Let's say I want to choose black, so click on a black, and that color changes to black. Let's say I want to make the surface blank without any lines. Let's right click on one of the lines and click on delete. That deletes the very horizontal ones. You click on the vertical ones also and click on delete. That is also going to delete the vertical ones. Now after getting this, since it's a line, we are going to display what you call the equation of the lines. Maybe you can add the equation of the line and maybe sometimes the intercept or whatever. So if you want to add the equation of the line, after right clicking and go into the data, format data or format trend line, you move down, then you click on the search, display the equation on the line. So the equation of this line is what is shown here. Then display the R squared value, that is the correlation coefficient between the two variables. So here we expect to have a very strong correlation, because as the value is shown here, as the distance decreases, the time equally increases at almost the same rate. You have to expect the very strong correlation between. You can also add the intercept that exists, that is the point within the y-axis where the positive y-axis where the line cuts, that is the intercept. Then you can equally add, let's see, the axis title, so the title of the axis. So here this side, so look on the axis title. This side becomes the distance. So I'm going to delete. Sorry, so let me go to undo, then to undo again. Then you can now add the axis title to it. So that's title down one. So let's say distance. I want this to be distance. Then okay, distance. Then the vertical one is going to be so let's delete this first. So delete it. Then you see once this side becomes the time. then you see the title of the chart is not time. So we call this type of graph in physics as I think it is displacement charts. So let's say it's displacement time graph. So that is how you can equally add the various. If you are done and you want to move this graph to your particular Microsoft document, just right click on it, copy it and send it to where you want to use the chart for the analysis. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe the video after watching, or the channel after watching, so you can receive every update on the Microsoft tricks and tips that you need as a student or as a scholar for your academic works. Thank you.